Hey, what's that?
Oh, you know how you have to be Will to be Will? Mm-hmm. Well, I've got an emulator where I could be Will. Yeah, watch.
Whoa, that's cool. Wait, what does that one do?
You've looked better,
Well, you've looked worse.
asshole.
Hey everybody, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
My name is Indigo.
And today we're here definitely to talk to you about the first Nintendo Switch emulator for PC.
To hopefully be released.
And not be taken down immediately?
Yeah.
What if we did the whole episode like that? If you live under a rock, you don't know what an emulator is. So I'm going to explain it so that those of you that do live under a rock will understand that emulators allow software that's designed to run on a specific hardware platform to run on different hardware platforms. So in this case, we want software designed for the Switch to run on a PC. And so some developers do magic and like wave their wands over their keyboards, and then
They reverse engineer it.
they reverse engineer the interface between the hardware and the software, the drivers. And then that allows us to run Switch games on our PCs, which is really cool because there's some really awesome games on the Nintendo Switch that I can't play because I don't have one.
The #1 title right now for everyone that's looking to play on the Switch is Zelda Breath of the Wild. But the problem with that is that you can actually already play it right now because there is already a emulator for the Wii U.
Right.
And because Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U as well as the Switch, people have already been playing Breath of the Wild. So it's actually taken them about 10 months to come up with this emulator since the release, which I think that's pretty fast. Like, I don't know, I don't keep up with like...
It's super complicated stuff.
Yeah,
like it's not
the
simple
easiest.
to do stuff like this. Like reverse engineering anything is hyper complex.
Yeah, and so they reverse engineer it and they've created it and they've made an announcement that they're going to be releasing it.
Right.
But they haven't. I've actually got pretty good faith that they will because this is the same group of people that actually came up with the emulator for the 3DS.
Right.
And they did a really good job with it. Like, really, really good job. So I'm curious to see, like, why they would announce it before. Like, it seems like one of those, like, while they may be on legal acceptable grounds, why with Nintendo and them being such crazy about their property, why they would openly like announce it beforehand versus just like everyone go get it.
I have no idea. I mean, maybe they're trying to like get an idea of how Nintendo's going to react before they make the code available, before they make the binary available. I don't know how they're releasing it. So that if you know, if the technology's out there, Nintendo can look at it first, right? Whereas if Nintendo like kind of plays their hand before the developers play their hand, maybe that puts them in an advantageous position. I don't know, I'm not a legal person, but there's more kind of legal concerns here. So we were looking it up and apparently emulating hardware isn't illegal. Like there's no legal grounds to prosecute because you've emulated someone's hardware platform.
With software, specifically.
Right, exactly, yeah. Where it gets illegal, like blatantly you're violating intellectual property stuff, is when you start porting other people's software into that emulated hardware without the consent of the developers that made the title in the first place as it applies to video games. And that's kind of where this is iffy, right? Like we could have access to this super great emulator, but where are we going to get the content from? There's like all the copyrights and intellectual property protections on this game are still super valid. It's been like 20 minutes since it's been released in the grand scheme of things. So if you're going to use something like this, you're going to be using illegal copies of games, like bottom line.
Yeah, unless you're going to be, and which people do this, they design games for the emulator.
Correct, yes.
Specifically. So you can do that. You can create a game for
original content for an emulator. Does that make any sense at all?
I
No.
mean, hold on. It does because when
Because you're using, the only reason to have the emulator is to play content that was designed for other hardware. Meaning it's inherently not going to be a native experience. Like you're porting and kind of making things work for the sake of making them work, as opposed to making things work the way that they're intended to work on the platform you're building.
Well, the emulator is going to be called Yuzu. That's Y-U-Z-U.
We think it's pronounced Yuzu.
And there's no official website for it because when you Google it, you go to a Barnes & Noble extension. Yep.
Cool.
I don't know why.
They're not sponsoring us. Other
No.
bookstores are available.
So they just have a Twitter account and they released that. They're following one other person. And
They have 3 tweets or something like that.
Yeah, and it's 2 retweets from the one person that they follow, and then this one tweet. But thousands of people are following them for some reason.
I wonder why.
We've already gone over kind of like the legality of
Yeah, and
emulators.
we've specifically gone over how Nintendo handles emulation legally, which is zero tolerance.
Yeah, and so it always throws me off when I see all of these emulators that are coming out that are coming out right after another, like especially when the games come out, like how these are so not just popular. Like I get why they're popular. I get a product that someone spent time, money, and energy on for free, but at the same time, like it's not the same thing. It doesn't. It like especially with the Switch because it's adding
I don't think it's the same thing, but if you watch Breath of the Wild gameplay, like
it
looks really fun. I want to play that game really badly, and I understand that I'm not going to get like the exact experience that the developers intend, but I don't care. Like their intentions can go F off because I just want to play the game really badly. Like I'm willing to sacrifice whatever like immersion or whatever.
Your tolerance is downloading something illegally versus
I'm not gonna.
Hold on. No. This is the idea. It's easier, cheaper, and more efficient for someone to download something illegal than spend the money on the hardware and then spend the money on the additional $60 software.
Just I'm gonna put this out there. I'm not going to use the emulator or illegal software for the emulator.
Yeah, sure, whatever he said. I just wish that exclusivity wasn't so much of a large thing.
I agree completely. It's very frustrating to have to decide between like being a moral person and getting the thing that I want because I'm a selfish human being and the like gut reaction I have is like, well, I want it, but I don't want to spend money for it, and it's available. Why don't I just do the thing?
It would be nice if you could choose your preferred console or your preferred hardware. And
I don't think Nintendo's ever gonna.
No. But then
PC
that's
stuff.
why they have to continue to deal with this issue.
Right.
Like that's why they're going to be the #1 target for emulators because
and which is why they have an absolutely zero tolerance policy for emulation and like fight tooth and nail because then they can keep their games exclusive to their consoles and force people to buy their consoles.
Well, why don't you guys tell us what do you think the solution?
How many
for
middle
this is?
fingers do we need in order to accurately express our emotions right now? Is it greater
I don't know
than?
why he's being so aggressive right now.
I'm not. I'm very calm. Listen to my voice.
Let us know. Let us know what do you guys think the solution is. Do you think that Nintendo just needs to get over it and they need to start releasing on other platforms? Never gonna happen. Do you think that this is what's going to save Nintendo and this is what makes Nintendo Nintendo and that's just how it is and we all have to get over it? Let us know. I've been Indigo. And you can reach me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
I'm currently Krug. You can get me at KrugQT on Twitter. You can also get both of us at _QueueTimes. While you're answering Indigo's question down there in the comments section, subscribe to the goddamn channel, you piece of shit.